when women have a lot of options, no matter if it's sexual options or whatever, it is just like men. It's hard to make a choice, right? You always think, well, I could probably do better than this, you know? And they go for the unavailable guy because they feel like that's the person who they are equal to, but he's unavailable. So you should go for this other guy. But then she thinks like, well, I can do better than that other guy. So she keeps searching, trying to get this guy right here, right? But just like Mistaken says, I think that when it comes to women who look a certain way, they have men. So I'm of age, and I got men in my DM, and so I can only imagine the amount they got in theirs, right? So when you got men, and you, let's just take it this way. Let's just say she's not like me. I'm a homebody, so I don't like to talk to a lot of people. But let's just say she doesn't care about that. And let's just say she has hundreds of men who are trying to take her out. There are women who can literally go on a date a day and never have to
pay for a whole year.
For a whole year. You understand? So she's probably like, do I want to give that up for him? So even though I'm not getting married, these perks that I've got going on, is he worth me giving up Johnny, who's going to pay my mortgage this month? Michael, who's going to take me out to eat tomorrow? Whoever. It's a real dilemma. It's a selfish dilemma. It really is. It is not right by all means. But just like Mistaken said, when people have choices, that's both men and women, the grass is always greener on the other side. It becomes a delusion. It's like, oh, no, I can get better than this. You're always chasing something that's better, in opposed to just being happy what God has sent you, who could be your perfect match. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. And I would also add is those type of women believe, in my opinion, those type of women believe that they qualify for that top 10% of men that we are always talking about. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to settle for anything less. But what they don't realize is that top 10% of men have basically 100% of the available women available to them. So why would they settle down? So you're actually choosing the wrong type of man because you think that your looks will carry the day. But those guys that you're going for, they basically have a million other women that look just as good, if not better than you. And I'd also argue one of the points you started this off with was you weren't talking about the baddie that's let's call it the Instagram model ratchet type. The other types of baddies we're talking about are women who are like lawyers and doctors and truly take care of themselves, or real, intercontinental models. Mm-hmm. They have means already. So not only do they now have means, but they also look good. So they're not just going to settle for any type of guy. And then by the time those looks start to fade, they find themselves in their late 30s, early 40s. And now they're either in scramble mode, or they say that I don't need a man. I'm choosing happiness over a man, and I'm living my best life is some of the things that I hear. So I think there are several different instances that is why these women are typically the last to get married.
Anybody else want to add to that? No, I absolutely agree. I agree with that. And I think people have to start putting their foot in other people's shoes. You know what I'm saying? It's like how we can understand that this guy, that this 1% guy is not gonna just settle down with anything. The female is probably thinking the same thing. She knows he's not. She knows he had. Men think. One thing about women, if you're smart, you look at YouTube, we hear all this stuff. We hear you saying, oh, he only wants you for this. At this point, they know, okay? And they still don't want to make the decision. And the reason why I bring this up, because I hear so many people trying to, I don't want to say bully, but make a woman settle for them. And then we have to say over and over again, you never want a woman to feel like she's settled for you. Now, what does settled look like? Settled does not mean that you are, settled could just mean that you're just not, she has no connection with you. She's just with you because ain't nobody else. That's settled. And that is not what you want from a woman. Trust me. It is nothing like being loved by a woman. You get no benefits out of a settlement.
You do.
It was so funny because Mistaken and I were talking. This is just candidly, we're just candidly speaking. But Mistaken and I were talking, and we were talking about, women always catching slack being gold diggers, right? But check this out. Most traditional weddings are based off gold digging tactics, right? So if you have to pay a dowry, isn't that like, paying for your kid, like you're selling your kid to to somebody?
It's different because that guy is approaching her, and he's
Don't you just want to approach the outfit that you want to buy?
Yeah, but the thing is like you're not a gold digger because you're buying it. Like if you're a woman and you have to pay a dowry to the family, you're like, hey, listen, this is the custom, and I am pursuing you, and I know this is the cost in order for me to do that. Versus, hey, I'm only going to talk to you because, oh, I saw you had this, I saw you had this, you got this. Now, if you don't have that, I'm not about to talk to you. That's what a lot of people would consider a gold digger. But some guys are like, well, I expect women to be gold diggers because a lot of women extract. So if they're used to being takers or receivers and not givers, it only makes sense that women, for survival tactics, that they would want to have guys with a lot of resources so they can have the lifestyle that they want. They can go to places and experience the things that they want, and they don't have to necessarily be as concerned about a lot of things that the average woman has to be concerned about, because she don't have to work the same, she ain't got to do the same stuff, and she get access to all of this stuff. Because a lot of times just women just want to flex on other women and say, hey, I got these things, my life is great, and they want to show you guys that they have a better experience than the other women.
And let me clarify. I didn't mean to use the word gold digging because that's not gold digging. Okay, what you just said is probably, but my idea of gold digging is, and again, I want to clarify. I'm not calling other people gold digger. I just want to clarify. That was a mistake. But gold digging to me is when she does not love you at all. Her sole purpose in your life is, it has everything to do with your money. It has nothing to do with you. If you lose your money, she's gone. Okay. There's no love there. It's all logical. I'm just here because he has money. That's a gold digger. Now, a person who has saying that, he has to have a certain amount of money for me to let him into my circle so that I can get to know him. And then once I get to know him, I fall in love with him and I marry him. I don't consider that gold digging because she loves the man, the person. Does that make sense? It's no longer about the money. The money is just saying, okay, he's in my class of men that I want to date.
Well, technically, it's still about the money because he can't even play the game without the money.